I found this old harness that we've had in the tack room for 10 years and haven't used. April here, so gentle acting, I thought she'd be a good candidate to train to pull. So this will be episode 1 of teaching a horse to pull. Since we're training April to pull and training her under harness as well as under saddle, there's a really important thing that she doesn't freak out if stuff gets along her back legs. So I am going to teach her to stop off of back leg pressure. She's already good about her back legs being touched and whatnot. Oh, babe. I'll just tie a simple horse knot. Oh. I could use a more pliable rope for this, would be better. Okay, April. She's never done this before. Walk up. Good girl. Just let her make a few laps and get used to that. She's super gentle, so she always takes to new things without it bothering her. You can see her head, her eyes. She ain't even thinking about that yet. Walk up, babe. Walk up. Now, eventually what I'm gonna be able to do is I wanna be able to stop her with this rope tied to her foot and back her up. And when we're trail riding and she gets, you know, we're going off trail through the woods and we get an old fence that's laid up in the leaves and we can't see it, she gets her foot in there, she'll just naturally stop. Or if the harness gets underneath her leg the wrong way, she's not gonna kick at it. A single tree gets wrapped around her leg, she'll stop. Oh, oh, oh. Good girl, stand there. She's already really good about standing, but when I tell her to stand, she needs to learn to stand really still for the harness. So I'm gonna start working and reinforcing that. Stand still, babe. Oh, oh, good girl. Good girl, stand still, good. Now I'm gonna get in a position to make her go, but I'm gonna wait and try to make her stand still a little longer. And she's gonna know what I'm gonna ask. Oh, stand. See, she knows. She knows what comes next, so I'm trying to get her to stand longer. Stand. Good girl. Huh, you didn't know what was gonna come next. And you gotta change up your patterns, people. Good girl. Yeah, that's a good girl. Okay, walk. Very good. She's listening very well. Oh, oh, oh. Good girl. Stand still. Walk, April. Walk. Good girl. Walk up, babe. Good. That time we stopped her without even having to say, whoa. There's something about April. She just knows. I haven't had to teach her anything yet. She just does everything the first time I ask. Very good girl. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Stand there. You're, no, stand. Whoa. Now, oh. Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up. Oh, right there's where you were. Stay there. She knew what was coming next and she anticipated me asking her to go. Well, I don't want that. Not when I'm training one to harness. Stand. Stand. Whoa, 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 whoa. Good girl. Okay, walk up. Walk up. Oh, good girl. Stand. Back up. Back. Ah. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh, oh. Stand. Oh. Stand. Good girl. Can you back? Back up. Back. Back up. April. Hey. Back up, babe. Good girl. Good girl. She kind of snorted and said, okay, I'll do it. But she did. She moved her front feet back and then one back foot back. Good girl. Try and get another step. Back up, babe. Back. Hey, April, quit paying attention. Back up. Back up. Good. Back up. Back. Back up. April, back up. Back up, babe. Back up. Back up. Good girl. Back. 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 April, back up. Back up. Back up. Hey, back. 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 April, back up. Good girl. Good girl. Ho, ho, ho. It's all right. Backing up with that is a little bit harder, she says, but doing good, isn't she? Walk up. Walk up. Good. Ho, ho. Good. Good girl. Good girl. Stand. I found this old harness that we've had in the tack room for 10 years and haven't used. April here, so gentle acting, I thought she'd be a good candidate to train to pull. And I am no expert at this, but I've taught, a handful of ponies, Shetland ponies, to pull, and one or two full-size horses to pull. Back up, babe.
We're gonna hook it up to a
Back up.
wagon.
Not today, not her first day. I'm just teaching her to, oh babe, teaching her to wear the harness today. Get her used to wearing it, and then I'll get her used to doing the next part, pulling something. Just walk her around and see if she's good. Make sure it's fitting all right. So this is a single tree I made, and all it is 2 eye bolts like this that move and are opened on the ends, 1 solid eye bolt in the center, and then I've got a chain with a wide grip so I can just link it in. So that'll be the first thing I practice pulling with her. But first, before I do that, I'm just gonna go ahead, I've got her all harnessed up now. I removed all the needless stuff off the bridle, like the head tie back strap. Now I'm not a harness person. I don't know all the technical terms. I'm going to learn them. I removed this bottom one as well, and I'm just going to run my reins up through here, through these, and drive her a little bit and get her driving. So we'll see how that works.
If you're going to train a horse to pull, it is crucial that the first time you do not hook them to a cart with shafts. The shafts will impede their movement, and anything with shafts also has to be stopped by the horse's rump. You want to pull a dead weight like this log and chain first, get her driving, and get all their maneuvers down pat where you're not going to have any trouble stopping them, backing them up, left, right. And then you move on to dragging a dead weight that makes a lot of noise. Only once you have that mastered do you move on to a cart or a wagon with shafts that they'll have to stop and stay within the shafts.
It's important the first time you do this that you do have enough weight on that single tree to keep the shaft, to keep the straps pulled back taut. Keep the single tree off her feet. I brought her in this pin because a lot of times, the first time you do this, you could have a breakaway.
Cool.
All right, she's doing good enough. I'm going to try to drive her and do it. Okay, walk up. Easy. Good girl. Got this strap on the wrong side somehow. Good practice. Walk. Walk.
Oh.
Got this strap on the wrong side. Walk up. Next step is to get a tire, drag that tire on this chain like an old flat, not on a rim. It'll make noise and add a little weight. Do that for as long as you can stand it, and we'll move on to a sled. Walk. Good girl. Good girl. Walk up. Walk up. Good girl. Little extra weight is keeping the single tree off of her better. That's good.
As a side note for my followers, all of that previous footage was on my mom's farm, or my mom and dad's farm, and now I'm walking up the driveway to my farm that neighbors theirs.
Good girl, babe. She's not paying any attention to the noise of it, which is good.
When training horses, it's always nice to have a couple dogs running around underfoot and distractions and kids on bicycles. Here you can see our Black Lab Piney and our Red-Bone Coonhound Arrow trotting along. Side note, we just bred Piney to a 19-inch tall standard poodle, and Piney's about 20 inches tall. She's kind of small for a full-blooded lab, but if anybody's interested in some Labradoodle puppies, we should have some good ones coming up. When going on long stretches like this, when riding a 2-year-old or driving in a harness, one of the things I like to do is kind of test them on what side of the road, what walking path they want to be in, make them walk on the other side, aim for a target like a leaf or a rock ahead of you, and try to make them go in a straight line to that target so that you're always gaining some. Switch both sides of the road like you see me doing here, so you're not just mindlessly walking, but you're gaining in your handle that you have on their mouth and gaining on their control that you have with your voice.
Good girl. Walk. Count. Walk. That's such a good girl.
Those turns can be tricky the first few times because the straps are going to put a lot of pressure on the outside of their legs. That's why we practiced the lead rope trick and the round pin prior to this. And it's also another good reason why you don't start with shafts. That maneuver of turning around inside of a gravel road like that with a cart on is a higher level maneuver, and it will take some practicing before a horse is going to be able to do that safely without causing a runaway or a wreck. Two last tips. If you're going to do this, put on comfortable shoes and don't be a dummy like me and do it in your riding boots. And lastly, make sure if your horse is being really good, you find a point to quit while you're ahead or quit on a good note. She'd done really well here, and we're going by the barn, so I decided she'd have enough for the day. Next time we may go up and wait or put something that rattles or makes even more noise than the tire, and just keep practicing this for at least a week before you move on to a cart.